Hello and welcome to the Sun Times Online, DC Martini. My name is Sandeep. Right now, I have with me an actor par excellence and someone who's not really been given his due in the mainstream Bollywood repertoire, Mr. Arjun Mathur. Hello, Arjun. Welcome.
Hi, Sandeep. Thanks. Nice to be here. Don't mind my cat.
Arjun, you've got to tell me, for someone who's not really born in India, done his grads from Oakland's, Hertfordshire, coming down to Bollywood and pursuing a career in films, especially in the Hindi film scenario, is a little wayward, isn't it? How did it get?
N-
How did it get to
n-
you?
No, no, no. I mean, that's a bit of a mistake. I was only born in the UK. I have grown up in Old Delhi civil lines, to be precise, near ISBT. And yeah,
Okay,
I've grown up between Bombay and Delhi my whole life. So Hindi is always
I
the
think that
language.
the Wikipedia page that you have needs to be rectified.
Yeah, possibly. I'm sorry. I'll have someone look into that. Yes.
Okay. So the thing is, when we're talking about Bollywood and the kind of
Hmm.
you know career trajectory that you've had, the kind of films
Uh-huh.
that you've been a part of, uh, I wouldn't call them middle of the road. I would actually call them pretty performance oriented. But at the same time, to a certain extent, they do tug at the heartstrings of the audiences and people who are actually admirers of such cinema. Uh, how do you look at mainstream Bollywood?
Yeah, I don't know, mainstream, that's what I think. Look, I grew up on mainstream Bollywood. I mean, I was the hugest fan of mainstream Bollywood because
Mm,
that's all there was at one point in time. But
yeah.
I don't know. I think, like, I think first and foremost, the definitions of mainstream itself have been changing slowly over the last 2 decades. The mainstream has been getting wider and wider, and
Mm,
it's slowly now, thankfully, just becoming much more about the content, especially now in this situation that we're in right now. uh, Cinemas are shut, everything is coming onto our streaming platforms, so content is really going to rule eventually, and that is the best way forward, because, like, these systems of the systems that mainstream Bollywood runs on, which are, like, like, primarily economic. Everything is,
mm.
at the end of it, it's economic. That's what really determining decisions. um
It's the money that matters.
yeah, and nobody's to blame for that. That's the fact. That's not the fault of Bollywood. That's the system of the
That's
world.
the way
It's
the world
capital.
is.
Yeah. So, but I don't know, I feel that within the mainstream a lot more can exist than just like empty, senseless stuff.
Mm,
So I know that my what I have been doing is definitely much more focused on not the size of the film or budget, or it's I often don't even think about whether where this will be seen eventually, or whether it will be seen. Or we all want our work to be seen, but that can't be my approach in taking up the work. I want to do the work because I enjoy the work. And what I enjoy doing is diving deep into characters, not like necessarily dishoom and jumping around trees and all. It's just, so it really depends. I don't know. I don't think mainstream Bollywood is just limited to that anymore. What I just said, it's uh, there are very content heavy, performance driven films that are
of
now
course,
very
of
much
course.
part of the mainstream.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
So what you're trying to drive at is the mindset of the viewers are gradually changing, and so is the mindset of the writer, for that matter, whoever is
Yeah,
writing a particular film.
yeah, it is, and it is. They do go hand in hand, as does. Look, there's filmmakers, as does the audience actually, and even the press for that matter. Like, I think everyone just needs to evolve together, yeah, and we are slowly doing that. I think as an industry, gone are the days, I think, really, of the past. And I was just reading an article today about how, um, the quintessential 90s hero even is gone, and replaced by a number of I don't know. It's That is what I'm trying to say. Basically, there has been an evolution in our art, there's been an evolution in our audience, and I think like it's my intention to just move forward with that and carry it further, you know.
Arjun, when you say that there's been an evolution and there's been an evolution in the mindset of people and everything, it surely has been an evolution and there's been growth. But don't you think it's a little slow? I mean, with the pace the world has been changing, the growth in Bollywood and the kind of acceptance that the audience, it also depends on the mindset of the audiences and the kind of population that we are catering our product or the film or the creative thing to. For instance, a person who's absolutely unaware of anything that is artsy or artistic for that matter will not really understand what's a raza or what's I mean you bring a complex artwork in front of that person, what is this? They'll try to figure
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
So,
but I'll be honest, people connect with stories, you know. People connect
hmm,
with stories. Like, I mean, even our masses, they don't necessarily need to be told a story with uh, with an item song, etc. You know what I mean?
yes,
uh, I think any story is, it's just possible to tell it authentically. You know, you can't like, you have to tell all kinds of stories, but just be authentic to the emotions itself and the story itself, and even be clear and about how you are treating it, and then be authentic to that treatment. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to it's cool, man, make a mindless film if you want, but
hmm,
then just make it mindless unabashedly. Don't pretend to be something, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Don't
yeah, absolutely.
yeah. uh yeah, I think that's what really, then that is important actually, you know. It's really important for everything to exist together and everything to be made. But everything that's made should certainly be made the with an intention, you know. And like, yeah, that's all really.
Absolutely. Um, uh, Now let me just dive into the entire crux of the interview and the fact that I'm talking to you. I mean, it's been a long time that I've actually desired to speak to you, but finally, I have the opportunity. The fact that you have earned yourself an Emmy nomination for your role
Mm-hmm.
in Media.
Mm-hmm.
How? I mean, how does that feel? I know this is a very run-of-the-mill question, but then I've got to ask.
No, it's pretty amazing. Yeah, obviously. I mean, I've, you know, been doing this for, I've been acting for like 12 years now. And as our previous question and answer has elaborated, it's been long and hard. So this is uh, this is amazing. You know, it's like it feels like all the years uh, of walking your path, and you know, with all its self doubt and insecurity and rejections and heartbreaks and disappointments and comparisons, envy, all of it feels worth it right now. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
So so it feels, it's pretty amazing. It's all part of the journey. Yeah, that's what it's important, to enjoy all of it. The heartbreaks also are not empty, you know. There's a lot to gain from them and learn from them, and then
Yeah.
use it. I use those experiences. I use them to push me forward in my drive. I use them to give my performances, literally, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So Arjun, you've got to tell me today the fact that, I mean, to a certain extent, I wouldn't really directly drive at the duplicitousness of the media these days. And
Yeah.
I mean, you have been a wonderful performer in almost all your films. You have literally, I mean, got into the skin of your character.
Wow,
And
thank you.
it's now that the interviews are happening and the interactions with you are happening are pretty rife and rampant now after the Emmy nomination. Why do you think is that the case?
Because that's the way of the world, you know. Everything is and I'm very aware that everything is fleeting, and this is also temporary. And you know, everything comes and goes. Yeah, so you might as well just enjoy the upswing, you know. uh,
Okay.
I won't complain too much about yeah, you're right that there is definite duplicity, but I won't complain too much about it. You know, I'm having it's it's my moment in the sun. Why should I,
Absolutely.
मैं नहीं तो मैं ऐसा बोल दूंगा, अच्छा मुझे इतने साल मीडिया ने इग्नोर किया, जाओ मैं आज इंटरव्यू नहीं दूंगा.
I know.
That
I
would
know.
be stupid of
I
me.
understand.
But yeah, man, that's the thing. That's why you can't just like you can't. There's no point. There's no point in like holding like any kind of like venom. You know what I'm saying? Any kind of.
Yeah.
It's just everyone's doing what they have to do, what they're supposed to do. Best if you just keep your head down and keep doing what you have to do, because then everything will come together one day like this for you. You know.
Oh,
What I.
that's a very placated way and very pacified. You've actually displayed how pacified and how placated you are in your mind, and the way you look at the world. Because
I mean,
personally speaking, I would not really be able to be that. I mean, I still am
sure.
not that. I'm
Maybe I'm get.
that really came across very, very beautiful.
Thank you. I mean, maybe I'm getting old. I don't know.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Arjun, you've got to tell me, how has the lockdown been treating you? Again, a very run-of-the-mill question.
Yeah. No. Man, it's been crazy, right? It's been crazy for all of us, honestly. The uncertainty, the fear, the paranoia, the all of it was so real. I think for all of us, and it's not been any different for me, to be honest. And I have personally tried in this lockdown, because to not let myself to really, it's been a struggle to keep my mental balance together, and I've been doing just like for everyone else, to be honest. I think we've been going through a bit of a mass depression worldwide, and it's a really hard time to just like keep your head about yourself, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
uh, and I think it's been really important to do whatever it takes to keep yourself feeling good and keep your sanity intact. Like for me, for example, how that manifested was like, I don't drink too much alcohol, but through the lockdown I allowed myself that, and I drank a lot more than I usually do. I was eating whatever I wanted. I did no exercise for 6 months, whereas usually I'm pretty like disciplined and routine about my fitness and stuff. Um, but there was just so much else in the mind that you were like, yeah, I
Yeah.
just need to feel good. Otherwise, you have to. It was hard and important to not uh, judge yourself or guilt yourself about vegetating in front of the TV for like 24 episodes straight. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
so it was that, yeah. It was, I think, that for everybody. And I think the things that really came into focus were what's really important, and what essentials really are, what and who you really need for your happiness and survival. Yeah. And other than that, I was extremely fortunate. I don't think many actors can say that they conceptualized and shot and released not one but two projects during the lockdown, which I happened to do, which was amazing. And I was very fortunate that both these things came my way, and I had the chance to put my head somewhere productive, and channelize all those feelings that we were feeling and put something out with it. Please check them out if you haven't. On There's a short film on YouTube called Home Stories, and
Yes, yes, absolutely. I have.
yeah,
I've already seen.
and the Gone Game on Voot, of course.
I
So
reviewed it.
yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go. And amazing. It was like we were totally taken aback by how the Gone Game also ended up really connected with people. Yeah,
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's it. I know that these two jobs make it look like my quarantine was really productive, but together they were only 1 week of shoot, and my quarantine was as unproductive as anybody else's. I promise.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Arjun, today the fact that you earned yourself an Emmy nomination, and
yeah.
Amazon. Do you think that something of this sort would have had been possible if it wouldn't have been an Amazon Prime, or it would have been some other OTT portal for that matter, or maybe a film, a Bollywood film for that? I mean, even though you have these nominations that take place, Oscar nominations and all of that, unfortunately, they end up really getting nothing at the end of the day. So I don't quite understand how that works. For the fact that today you've received an Emmy nominations, it's pretty much different from the other nominations that we get to hear in the Indian diaspora I'm talking about.
Yeah.
How I mean, do you think that to a certain extent it is like a little it is a cut above the rest or something like that?
I think it is a lot to do with the fact that I mean, look, even our Bollywood films, which have been entries for the Oscars and stuff, still on their own journeys, they all start off here. They start for the Indian audience, and from here, then they go where they have to. But I think primarily, yes, I have to agree that the fact that our work went out immediately across 100 countries. I don't think any other streaming platforms other than Amazon and Netflix have that kind of global reach
Yeah.
currently. So yeah, possibly not, but but then you can never say. I can't say this for sure that this could never have happened with a film, or this could never had happened if there was not Amazon, because that is all speculation. The thing is that everything at this current point happens to be coming together correctly for this to have happened. That's really the bottom line. And why it happened is, who knows, how it happened. We're lucky
Hmm.
that we're here. We're lucky that our times have changed enough that an actor like me has been nominated over there
Oh,
after.
come on, you modest you.
No. I mean, I'm okay. Sorry, an actor. I'm a decent actor. I agree, but I mean an actor without a commercial standing like me. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think definitely. I mean, I love where we are, and I'm not questioning it. And I don't know how we're here or why we're here, but I love that we're here.
Right. Right. You've got to tell me, with the kind
Yeah.
of air that is the air, the atmosphere is literally tinctured with all sorts of negativity, as you just said about the
Yeah.
lockdown and everything, and the
Yeah.
negative sort of aura that's there in the atmosphere right now,
Yeah.
especially after Sushant's death and everything that's been ongoing since.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, with the fact that so much of negativity all around, and with so many issues that are being pinpointed now, especially in Bollywood. We're talking about nepotism and favoritism and all sorts of these jargons which were not really there earlier. They're actually coming out, and people are getting to know their meanings. I'm sure people definitely didn't know their meanings as well. And now, as and when the conversations are happening, they're getting to know it more and more. You have to tell me whether anything of that sort uh, happened to
Sorry, like
transpire with you
anything of
in the past?
like what? Anything like
Like
what?
anything that's got to do with nepotism or favoritism or whatever.
You know, Look, yes, I've certainly I've lost projects to people who were uh, related to people in films and stuff. Definitely, I have faced it. But look, first of all, I look at it a little differently, and I've learned this. And slowly, I came to this understanding about it, that nepotism and all, fine, but first and foremost, it exists everywhere, in every field.
Yes,
And
it does.
it's totally fair that someone who's made his name in a field wants to send his children and his name forward in that field. That's Indian society. We want अपना हमारा नाम आगे बढ़े और हमारे घर का चिराग हमारा नाम आगे ले जाएगा and all. That translates into this also. um so, and who do you blame for it? Tell me. Like, you can't blame the producers who are putting in all their money and have to get returns. You can't blame the star kids who can't help where they're born. If you want to ask me, I would say that first of all, the entertainment media also has a large responsibility here,
Yes,
because why don't you give attention to the lesser known actors, and why don't you put them on the front pages and make people consume them? If we know people don't want to consume them, but it'll all go hand in hand together, na? And then lastly, the audience. I mean, at the end of it, who's the person consuming all this? It's the audience
absolutely.
consuming. And right now, it's the audience that's sitting out there and complaining more than people in film are also complaining. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? So I mean, so why don't you just support smaller actors and find the people you find talented and support their work, talk about them, push their work, spend money on their films instead of just like talking about things. So nepotism is a it's
Part
a
and
monster.
parcel of the industry.
Yeah, and it's a monster with many heads, and all of it kind of needs to work together for a system to change. My personal experience with it, yes, I can either sit and be like, yeah, the industry was really bad to me, and now I hate everything and I hate everyone. And certainly, I think a younger version of me did go through that also. But at the end of it, it's possible to just keep your head down and just keep working and just do your thing. And if you are not able to pass from here, then just find your way around that rock and just keep walking, because that's this industry doesn't actually belong to anybody or anybody's father.
Hmm.
It doesn't, you know and it's possible for everything to coexist, and there's an audience
Absolutely.
for and there's an audience for everything, as I'm learning right now. Because right now there are people with this news, there are people who are, it's so touching, because people are like, "Arey yaar, with my nomination, like I think a lot of people are feeling like जैसे उनका अपना कोई nominate हुआ है." You know what I mean? Like the people who have supported me now over the years are really such strong supporters, because they've noticed me in my first film and since then said this, that yeah, why doesn't Arjun Mathur get more chances? Why doesn't Mathur get more chances? So those people right now are like, yes, we knew it, we knew it. You know what I mean? And that's so heartening for me to see. Yeah. So everything can coexist. It's much more productive to just stop complaining, stop washing your dirty laundry in public, and
Yeah.
just keep your attention on your work. You're complaining about stuff that, like, I can be complaining, but think of how many people there are who are who would die to be in my shoes right now. You know, I would die to be in somebody else's. But this comparison game is always that's the real uh, that's the one you really got to watch out for, comparing
Hmm.
your journey to others, I feel. So sorry, I said a lot. Does that answer your
It's
question?
okay. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. I
Yeah,
was all yours.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know, man, there's a lot of negativity going around even about all of this. It's like it's just smoke screen, man. It's just smoke screen is what I feel. There are far greater issues going on in our country, other than
Yeah.
these like 4 5 people you're talking about, who maybe consume some drugs, maybe don't, maybe whatever, man. There are other issues going on that affect millions of people. you
Yeah.
know
Absolutely.
people have died. People are uh, I don't know. I really think first and foremost, as an audience, as a country, we need to get our priorities straight, and stop giving so much attention to Bollywood. You know,
Yeah.
we're just artists, man. We're just artists trying to do our work, trying to entertain. There's no murderous terrorism groups here. There's no drug cartel that's running Bollywood. What the hell is
Yeah.
going on? Um, yeah, I don't know. We gotta just really. I think the audience right now needs to be really smart and keep their eyes open, see things for what they are, and
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
So, like I said, when we're talking about all of this, it all ultimately boils down to the mentality of the audiences and things that, the fact that all of it is being paletted in front of them, and they don't quite know
yeah,
what they are doing. They don't quite. They just go for things that are shimmery,
yeah,
and they grasp it. That's their mentality. Unfortunately,
yeah.
nothing can be done about
Yeah. And Bollywood is just the softest target there is, man. It's always been, because we leave ourselves open to people's love also, people's hate also.
it.
And there was a
Hmm.
time, before pre-social media, when there was a clear barrier between films and audiences. That barrier is gone. Now it's a free
Yeah,
for all.
yeah, yeah.
Anyone can say whatever they want. Anyone can spit on your face and go. You know. Uh, and this is also a human habit, ना कि जितनी जल्दी लोगों को पेडेस्टल पे चढ़ाते हैं, उतनी जल्दी नीचे भी खींचना है. So
Hmm.
right now, honestly, like the sadistic side of society is loving that कि Bollywood is being pointed these fingers upon,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
because it gives everybody something very tangible to hate, you know. But
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
but that's false. Please, that's false. Yeah,
Unfortunately, people don't quite understand it.
yeah. I hope they do. I'm gonna try my best.
Okay, all right, okay.
Hmm.
Uh, So with that, Arjun, we come to the end of this lovely, lovely conversation. Again, a very, perhaps one of the most candid conversations and heart of hearts conversations that I've had with anybody for that matter.
Oh, thank
Thanks
you.
so much. Thank you so much for being a part
Thanks,
of this
Sandeep.
conversation, giving me your time.
Thank
My
you.
name is Sandeep with Hindustan Times Online. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.